Warning, this program contains strong language and content that might require actual thought and critical thinking. Viewer discretion is advised. It's that time. Time to kick off your shoes, time to get grounded and reclaim your magic, and time to fly. We are the Barefoot Bangarang Tribe, and this is Tarot with an Attitude, featuring the Bangarang man himself, the Reverend Rob Lee. Good morning, everybody. Bangarang. Welcome to Tarot with an Attitude. This is the place we yell Bangarang to remind us what we put our and set our intentions on is what we get back. This is the place to come get grounded, find your magic, reclaim your magic. A lot of us, we were all given magic. We let it go. But once you reclaim your magic, you can find your wings and fly. So that's what the Barefoot Bangarang Tribe is all about. I'm going to put some links up through this show if you want to get some readings or whatnot. Hey, today is March 24th. These are some big numbers today. March. Cooperation, collaboration, creativity. Grab hold for the rest of March. It's almost over. But 24, 2, partnerships, duality, 4, strong bases, bring those together, you have a 6. And today is a good day for a breakthrough in a 6 breakthrough year. So this is what it is. Now, remember, breakthroughs can be painful. I'm not promising you sunshine, roses, and rainbows flying out your butt. It's not all unicorns. This is something that you have to work on. What do you want to do? Where do you want to go? But if you do it and you stretch through, that's going to be what's happening. We have an awesome show today. Let's get some people on here and find out what's happening. Okay, we have an awesome show. Got a couple of very special guests. First off, my buddy, we've been around for a long time doing business together and different things or whatnot. Welcome, Mr. Jay Mata from Spiritually Raw. How are you, buddy?
What's up, my brother? How are you?
I am good. Glad to do this. Glad, I've got you on. You brought this young lady to my attention that's going to come on.
Yeah.
And I appreciate it. I've got some things going. We're going to talk about an Ascension hack that is actually something that really caught my attention. Okay. And I want this young lady to explain what's going on. Everybody, what we've got going on is Danielle Matthews. Danielle's an inspiring young woman. She was hit by a drunk driver 9 years ago and sustained an injury to her brain, classified as a mild traumatic brain injury, TBI. This injury pulled her from life. She lost her job, found herself on a road to recovery with little answers from the medical community. Shocker there, ain't it? That all they want to do is rely on tradition and whatnot. After finding a technology that helped her to heal, she now shares her story and this product with people around the world. She has built an international business and touched thousands of lives in the process. She feels this all happened for a reason, so she would be in a position to inspire others to their inner potential and create whatever life they desire. Without further ado, let's bring on Miss Danielle Matthews. Hey, young lady, how are you?
Hey there, I'm good. I was laughing when you said breakthroughs can be painful. And I was like, yeah, that's been my journey.
Yeah, people want to hear breakthrough and we forget there's a reason we call it breakthrough, So you have a hell of a story and a hell of a product, and I'm letting people know right down below, right out of the gate, if they want to know more about this product, where to read about it, things like that, there's a link down there. Go look at it, click on it, find it, copy, paste, whatever you got to do to get there. I am so anxious for this stuff to get to me. But Danielle, tell us your story a little bit and what led you to this.
Yeah, well, like you shared with everybody, my world kind of stopped when I got in this accident. I was hit by the drunk driver, and I sustained an injury to my brain that after about a year, I was told by the medical community that it was just my new normal. And they said, look, you need to shape your life around these symptoms. Your body's done the healing it's going to do. You need to move on. And I don't know how many people have sat across from a doctor and just accepted that kind of reality. But something within me just said, well, you're fired. There's no way that's going to be my life. And we kept searching. And it's amazing when you're asking and you're looking, the answers come. And it's funny because sometimes we miss it. But the answer came to me through an acupuncturist. She said that she had started using this technology in her practice, that it was going in and it was stimulating cellular repair in all of her clients. And she shared that it was doing something different for each of them because they each had damage in a different area. And her belief was that it could pass the blood-brain barrier and it could help me. And so quite frankly, Rob, I blew her off. I said, this stuff sounds way too good to be true. And I said, it looks like glorified salt water. I'm like, what is this stuff? And no, thank you. But my mom started using it. And my mom had incredible results. She had bone on bone in her hands, couldn't even make a fist. The inflammation was so bad. And she started drinking this stuff. And within 6 weeks, full range of motion back, feeling so much better. And that got my dad's attention. So he starts using it. And a knee injury that was 30 years old started to feel better within 10 days. And he's like working out, having more energy, all these things. And now I'm witnessing all of this. And I'm sitting back going, like, this is a placebo. There's no way. I mean, I just wasn't ready to accept it. But then they kind of forced it on me and said, look, you have nothing to lose. Like, let's give this 6 months. Let's see what it can bring your body. And I thought, all right. So I start using it. 3 months into it, I had a breakthrough. The pounding that had been in my head for over 2 years at that point, it finally stopped. I had clarity again. Like, I could get the words out I wanted to. My personality came back. I wasn't having to nap and sleep through the day. And it was my cognitive therapist. She said, you know, I've worked with people with this type of injury for over 30 years. And she said, I've never witnessed someone have such a rapid recovery, you know, so far out from that initial trauma. It just doesn't happen. And she said to me, Danielle, what the hell is that stuff you started drinking? And that opened up, you know, gosh, it opened up what's now been an 8-year journey of me discovering, learning, seeing what this was, and realizing, man, this can help so many people with what they have going on.
And you know what I find ironic, even in the mental health industry that I have been involved in for a while, you know, that a doctor saying, well, this is your new normal. You just got to get used to it. It's like a lot of people going, well, you just got to get over it.
Right.
Well, that's a lot, you know, that sounds a lot easier than it is. You know, the love of my life stabbed me in the back, walked away with my children or whatnot. Oh, just get over it, you know, right. Let it go. You know, so that, you know, that rings true with me. And then the knee and injuries. And Jay got hold of me because he knows some of the stuff I'm going through. Last time I went into court, they brought my medical records in on a hand truck because I've just put my body through so much, from broken ribs 5 times, 2 knees, hip, things like that. So much crap. It's pathetic. And Jay, you picked up the phone and called me and said, dude, you got to check this out. How did you find Danielle and all this mix, Jay?
So you know me forever, right? And so, you know, just our profession is communication. And so I went to this meeting about what they're talking about, you know, because I wanted to learn not so much about the product. I didn't really care because, you know, just whatever. I wanted to learn from the speaker. I was interested in saying, okay, there's going to be some good speakers. And then remember, I called you actually. I'm like, hey, I'm going to check this out. And, you know, there might be some good speakers there. And, you know, for me, it's always about learning how to be, you know, you got to keep your mind right. Right. So I wanted to see like how they grab the audience and how they.
And like Danielle, I did not go.
Yeah. You know, and, but anyway, long story short, I actually got really engaged in the conversation they were talking about, and really, I was like, wow, this is pretty cool. And then one after another, I saw people coming up and talking about, like, Danielle, I saw you up there. You know, people talking about their digestive issues, Rob, they're you know, uncomfortable, those things, you know what I mean? And people know what I'm talking about, the things that come around with your life. And one after another, but it wasn't like, hey, this is helping. It was like these people were having like massive breakthroughs. I mean, you know, to the point of where you could see their emotion. It wasn't like, hey, I feel good, nice. It was like, I mean, it was like their spirit was rising. Their, you know, what once felt like a broken spirit, you know, felt like it was alive again. And you could see that, right? You get that energy. So I'm like, okay, well, this is good. I'm going to give this a go. So I did try it. And Rob, probably within the first week, I would say, is like, I noticed right out of the gates, like my gut and stomach just got leaner. You know what I mean? Like within 3 or 4 days, it was pretty quick. So, and then after that, I felt like, okay, because I'm always on other things like CBD and things like that. I noticed, and I love CBD, that. And I noticed like I wasn't taking my CBD throughout the day, but it's not like I didn't want to. It's just that I didn't think about it. Like it wasn't even there for me. It wasn't even on my radar. I was like feeling freaking great. A week after that, I'm talking to April. I'm like, man, I just feel freaking amazing. I mean, I'm on fire like that good. And so anyway, so that's going on. So it's probably about 3 months after I really wanted to go through this whole experience and then not take some of the other stuff I'd been taking before, just to really give this a fair go. And that's when I reached out. I'm like, you just, I don't care if you tell anybody about it, but damn it, try it. I love you. You know what I mean? Seriously, kind of like where I went with you on it. Like, it's even every day. It's wild, man. It's like, from yesterday to today, it's like you get these measurable differences. I mean, it's like today it was like, if there's a concept of superhuman, I think what Danielle's sharing with us right now, the science behind it and everything, it's the closest thing. I know, I see a lot of stuff, and this is the closest thing I've ever seen and most certainly ever felt that could make one feel like that, mind, body, spirit, all the way through, brother. So that's why I reached out to you, because I really love you. You know that, and I want you to feel that same way, and really everybody to feel that same way. I mean, just there's just a better way, and I'm feeling it. I know.
Well, and one of the things that I got to tell you that convinced me to look at this even more was on a one of our calls with about the classes I do, which, by the way, Jasmine, classes are still open down there. Pendulum class tomorrow night, 8:00. First 5 people will be live with me on camera. Go register. First 5 people, and we are going to do Pendulum Simplified. And that way we can actually work. Anybody else, keep going. The following week, I'm going to do a mindfulness course, and then we're already setting up for a Tarot Simplified 2. We're going to be doing readings, learning spreads, things like that together, so you can get over this and get moving. So, but with that being said, that's what, sorry, I had to take care of that. Danielle or Jasmine's in here. Julia, we were talking about the classes, and Julia evidently is in a part of this. This would be Julia. Help me, Jay. My brain.
Julia Treat.
Julia Treat. Okay.
Angel
and she has arthritis problems, things like that. And folks, she's been on the show. Now, she has not been on since she started this regimen. And she was complaining that her hands were hurting, and she didn't know, how much typing or whatnot she could do on the keyboard. And she said, oh, wait a minute. I got a shipment of stuff and put it on. And she said within 10 minutes, she was just absolutely amazed. And, I trust Julia, things like that. We weren't even on a call about this, if I remember right. It was about our Ascended Master stuff. I can't remember, my brain. But when you hear people and you have immediate results like that, it gets your attention. So Danielle, what is this stuff?
It's a good question. So it's something called redox. Redox stands for reductants and oxidants, and I'm going to go a little into science here for you guys, just to give you a basis. But these molecules are made in our bodies. So everybody right now, all of you watching, we all are making redox molecules. They're made in our mitochondria, and it's something that until the late 90s, they didn't know these molecules had a role in the body. They actually thought they were just the waste of the energy production cycle. So as you make your ATP, these reductants and oxidants are spun off. Well, turns out they have a massive role. I don't know if you guys have ever cut yourself and wondered, how does my body know to repair that? We watch it happen, this miracle happening in front of us, and we just kind of move on with life and don't even think about it.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah. And so the reason that area starts to repair is because wherever there's damage in the body or a mutated cell, the ones around it sense it, and they put out a signal. And this oxidative stress call is what alerts the body, oh, there's an issue over here, you need to come repair it. All right. And unfortunately, what happens is that after puberty, our mitochondria get less efficient. And so they start producing less of these redox molecules. And so as we age, our ability to call for help it's like having, 5 bars of service on our cell phone when we're young. And then throughout, the decades, it gets weaker and weaker. And we all know we got 1 bar of service. Like we're not getting through what we need to get through. And so that's why we start to see as we get older, we don't repair as fast, say after a workout.
Yeah. So what you're saying is, as I get older, I become an old bag cell phone instead of one of the new 5G or whatnot. But you're right, and I teach people this about as you get older. A lot of times people get afraid because they can't multitask as much. They find that slipping away, and through the wonders of the functional MRI, we found out that it's not anything wrong, but as we get older, and that was another thing that connected with me when I started researching this with and you was we just require more and more brain power to process more and more functions as we get older. So that makes total sense. It's why little scratches and scars don't heal as fast, So yeah.
Yeah. So what's really interesting is that this company, and it was, I mean, the evolution of this is incredible, but it was through an accident, a malfunction in some equipment that ended up stabilizing these redox. And to me, that's like a green light of indicator of, well, there's no accidents. So
Right.
I believe that this was something that was, gifted to us. And they started to realize, wow, this is having profound impact in the body. They started studying it more and more. And what they realized was, wow, this is just replenishing our system's supply. So if you take this, it's going to go where you have damage, and it's going to allow that part of your body to repair. And so it doesn't matter if that damage is a cell in your lung or a cell in your kidney or in your skin, or for me, it was my brain. It doesn't matter. When you need it, it goes where you need it. And what Julia used, there's a topical version of this, and it's more concentrated, and you can tell it where to go. So you can use it from the outside in, and it's wonderful because if, her hands were bothering her, if you rub it, 3 applications within 5 minutes is what we see like the most beneficial. And her result is something that I see often. I always tell people, get a tube of this, rub it on 10 people, and 9 of them are going to come back to you and go, what is that stuff? Because as you saw, it's like, whoa, what just happened? It's quite remarkable.
Yeah, that is, I'm so anxious because I have some things that I need to take care of and whatnot, naturally, as many of us do. And Linda, what I'm going to do is I'm going to post this right now so people can see it. So I should have had this up and done, but here we go. Let's see what's happening. All right, let's go there.
Can I make a comment to Linda? She says this sounds like bottled Reiki.
and you know what? That's kind of a great way to to kind of put it, and see what's going on. Let me see what I've got here. So there we go. Well, we'll just leave that up. Okay. And what I think is important too here is you can buy this product single usage. You don't have to sign up for a subscription. You don't have to sign up. You'll get benefits if you do. And I think down the road, most people are going to want to. But that was another thing that impressed me is I could just hit it and try it, for a month. But, in one thing I'm hearing, like Jay, you doubled up for the first week or so, right? To kind of get that loading dose, and, people are like, well, they do that with antibiotics. They do that with other medications. So, that's nothing to shy away from. But what's in it? Oh, I took that away. I want to go back over here. What's in it? I think that's what a lot of people want to know as far as, okay, what am I taking into my system? And I know a lot of people, I loved HempWorks. I had to get away from it because I did find out it was causing like a blood thinner reaction type thing. But this is mostly salt water, right? And so therefore I can take a pee test and not worry about it. But what makes this so special?
Jay, were you saying something?
I was going to say it's something that's already in you, right? From what I understand.
Exactly. It's native. So a lot of people say, well, is it natural? Is it organic? And I'm like, back up. This is totally different. This is something that your own being is making. So your body's making redox, and it makes it from saline. So, Rob, when you ask that question, it's like yes and no, because
Okay.
your body, think about it, guys. You sweat salty, you cry salty, you go to the ER, they're going to hook you up to a drip of saline. And the body uses that as the building blocks to make different molecules. If you think about salt, it's just sodium and chloride.
Right.
You think about water, it's hydrogen and oxygen. Now, a lot of people know the molecule hydrogen peroxide. It's H2O2. Water's H2O. So one more oxygen, now we have a very different molecule. And hydrogen peroxide is a redox signaling molecule. Okay, so is superoxide, hydrochloride, just anything that you can make with those basic four and recombine into these different molecules. And so what you're actually drinking when you drink the ASEA are these redox molecules, and they're so packed full of energy. It's crazy. I mean, it's all electron transfer. Reductants are negatively charged, the oxidants are positively charged. They get into your body. As soon as they touch something organic, boom, they start going. So you swish this stuff in your mouth, then you swallow it, it gets absorbed right there in your mouth, sublingually, and gets to work in your body. So it's pretty exciting to know, hey, my body's going to recognize this stuff. I can't be allergic to it. It's completely non-toxic. It won't contraindicate with anything I'm doing because my body's already making it, and I'm just filling up my cup so that I have the levels I had when I was younger.
Rob, I want to, if I can, just touch on what you said about earlier, brother, about like how I did the doubling up on it. And really, anybody that's at that place that they just want to, when people are even watching this, they're generally watching this because they got something going on that they just, that just keeps it rearing its head, right? So for me, I just was like, whatever they recommended on the bottle for that first couple of weeks, I doubled up on. And I'll tell you why. Number one is I wanted to just notice it fast. Okay. And just logic just says that, right? Double up, you'll notice it faster and it'll get there faster. So I just did that. And that was the best decision ever. So I, my loved ones, you, everybody, I'm like, hey, listen, when you do try this, and especially people that are probably running over there right now, just get in your mindset to double up on it. And also you did talk about like, make sure you got enough, because here's what's going to happen. Once you get it in your system, you're going to want this and you're going to love it. And it's going to make you feel incredible. The lights are going to turn on, things are going to turn on that you never knew were just even asleep, but things are going to turn on. And then when you get to the point of where you're out of it or you don't have it, just make sure you got enough to get you through. And I'm not kidding you on this one, because fortunately, there's a guy, Marcus, who actually invited me to the meeting, who lives about a mile away from me. So a couple of times I've been in a position where I actually ran out of it. So fortunately, I called Marcus. I was like, hey, can I exchange a bottle with you? I just placed my order, and, he lived right there. So that was the thing. I don't know if everybody's going to have that kind of scenario. So all I'm saying is I can pretty much tell you this. Once you do it, if you try it the way that I did it, and I think that the doctors recommended too, and what you did is this, it's called a magic 8, right? So it's boom, 8 ounces. It's power down on it, right? Get it in your system, feel that energy, feel that love, right? And then once you get that and you start getting in the groove with it, you are not going to want to be without it. I'm not kidding you. You're not going to want to be without it. And it's going to help you from so many different ways. It's like, the ways are just unmeasurable. I think that people, they're just probably, it seems like from what I'm understanding, they're just discovering new ways and new things that is really benefiting people. So just think about it from that context. I always tell people like this, Rob, it's like, don't be so damn stubborn. Click on the link and give yourself what you deserve in this life. For your audience, Rob, and our audience, it's the massive benefit. I will tell you right now, the pineal gland, the tapped into the consciousness, that's at a whole other level. That's like a whole other shot. I don't even. I mean, it's like you're so streamed in, you're so tapped in with the universe. So your people on there that are wanting to take your classes and really get tapped in and tuned in at that level. Listen, you'll be very well served. To get your mind expanded there. But it's wild, brother. It really is.
All right. Now, Danielle, you also have a background in biology, right?
I do. Yep.
Okay. And so it helps to be able to understand it, so exactly what they're talking about. All right. I am so anxious to get this party started, because I just, and I don't think it's an easy thing. Now, here's another question. I think I know the answer to it, but I heard somebody talk about you take this subcutaneous or whatnot. And for people that don't know what that, just hold it under your tongue. Is that what I'm understanding?
Yeah, we actually tell people to swish it in their mouth, and
Swish it good. Do, do,
swish
do, do, do.
it. But don't spit it out after. do still swallow. That's like, it's like mouthwash, like swish and spit, and I'm like, oh no.
Yeah, yeah.
Swish and swallow. But yeah, that's where it's getting absorbed. And so, because once it gets into the stomach, I mean, your stomach acids, everything starts working on it, but it gets into your system very quickly. And just like, it's so interesting, like the layers with which we're understanding this. And I think Jay's right on point with some of the stuff we're even now understanding about what this does, because the topical that I talked about that Julia used, it was originally just for the skin. They thought, okay, it's going to turn over skin cells faster. It's going to help with the wrinkles, right? With these damaged skin cells, sun damage, you name it. Well, we got our hands on it and we realized, wait a second, this is going deeper than the skin. This is getting in and it's actually able to soothe muscles. It's actually able to get down on a deeper level. So it's pretty fascinating.
Yeah. And, Roxanne's got an interesting question. And from what I've learned, tell me if I'm right or wrong. You can just about mix this with anything because it's hard to comprehend. The chemicals we're talking about are already in your body. What we're doing is we're aiding that redox to give us more of it.
Yeah.
Would that be a correct statement?
Yeah, and just to clarify, you can't literally mix it. So you can't put it in your smoothie, or you can't do anything like that, because the molecules will react with anything organic. So you don't want to react with your greens in your smoothie before it gets into you. But
got it.
Roxanne, if your question is to, okay, if I'm taking other tinctures, if I'm taking other vitamins, what's the role that this plays? I'd give you an analogy. Think about your body like a house, and you need to rebuild your home. Well, you need the right materials. You need the shingles, you need the bricks, you need the nails, you need all those things. Those are the vitamins, right? Those are the things, those are the materials that you're putting into the system. Redox is not like that at all. There's no nutritional value at all. What it is the construction workers that are coming onto the job site that now pick up those materials, put them to work. It's the foreman on the job saying, hey, you go here, let's signal this on, let's turn that off, so that we can get this house restored and then bring it, as Jay has experienced, to the next level. Because we need to get this 3D being, right, into a very solid place, and then, we can ascend up from there.
So then if somebody's taking, like she says, like tinctures and things like that, what I'm hearing you say, I get up in the morning, I do my swish, and now I'm going to go all Harry Potter, swish and flick. So swish and swallow. Okay. Would that then, after I have that in, I take my tinctures, my vitamins, it's actually, if I go off what you're saying, it's helping the body, and the vitamins or stuff are helping. It's reinforcing everything.
Yes.
And actually very possibly might make your tinctures, vitamins, or anything even more efficient.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
You got it. Sometimes this seems to be like the missing link for a lot of people, where all of a sudden, okay, I was supplementing with XYZ, maybe not getting all the results that I was thinking. We add this in, and it puts it all to work, and allows the body to take that and really utilize it.
All right, folks, one of the things, we're talking to Danielle Matthews. We're talking about the ASEA product here. I say ASEA. I don't know. Is that how you say it, or does it matter?
I say ASEA.
Okay, ASEA. Okay, so check out ASEA and ASEA for yourself. Okay, it's Italian. No, it's not. I'm only kidding. All right, but there's the link. And I think this is important because of how natural this is. I know I'm not slinging a bunch of cards this morning or anything else. We'll be back on Saturday. Don't worry about it. I may pop in a little later so y'all can get your tarot fix or whatnot. But it's important because we're always talking about holistic ways and ways to help and ways to do things that are more natural and reaching out. And these are things, when we talk about enlightenment, waking up, these are new things that we're understanding, where I do like to chase the science. This has science behind it. And that impressed me, in the fact that I could take it or whatnot. And I get what you're saying about don't mix it with your vitamins. It's kind of like dropping a Mentos in a Coke, because those chemicals just don't react well, and it's expending all of its energy. Like, well, Rob, how come I can't drink a Mentos or drink a Coke, and swallow a Mentos. It all mixes okay. Think about that. Because your stomach is already neutralized with all those acids, a lot of those same molecules that are reacting. So that's why you want to make sure you're taking the C. Anything you take sub-Q is generally better first thing in the morning. I know that. Is that the recommended time for this, or is it 3 times a day, twice a day? Where are we at?
Twice a day, in the morning, first thing when you get up, and I do it last thing before I go to bed. If someone is an athlete or exercising, we find that they have incredible benefits with this being able to give them more so that their stamina goes up in their workouts. They recover faster after their workouts. A lot of the research that's been done actually with this has been on athletic performance. It's approved by the Olympic Committee. So there's Olympic gold medalists that use this product.
Wow. Okay.
They have found, because they think about them, they're pushing their body to another level. And so for them, they need more. So they take it morning and night, but they also take it, pre-workout and post-workout. And they rub the gel on their muscles before they get going. And they notice, right, that the lactic acid isn't building up as quickly. And it's quite remarkable what you see on that end.
Yeah, because right now you're talking about you had lost your job, everything else, and anybody sitting here watching you. I remember when I watched some of your story or heard a little bit about you. What about the headaches? Weren't you really dealing with some like migraine type headaches or something?
Yeah, I couldn't handle like natural light. So any sort of input was so overwhelming to me. It felt like someone was, putting a flashlight right in my eye. So we had blackout fabric in my bedroom. I couldn't handle any sort of noise. I heard everything at the same level. So if somebody was, cutting with their fork and knife and talking and the refrigerator is humming, like I was hearing it all. And I couldn't handle that sort of stimulation. My brain felt like someone had a vice grip on it. It felt like it was just pulsing. I mean, it was, the number of sensations was overwhelming, and I couldn't focus because of that, because it was also overwhelming. And so I spent most of my time sleeping. And then I found meditation, thank goodness, and woke up to a whole lot more.
Right.
So, yeah, that was a beautiful part. I think that all things are happening for us. I know that within every challenge, it's the antidote. It's what we're supposed to learn, what we're supposed to discover so we can, become more and get to this next level in our life and in our soul's journey. And for me, there was so much awareness that I gained through my accident, through everything that I went through. And then, of course, when this came into my world, it just made sense. Like, okay, I have a voice now that I'm supposed to use to share this with others so that because I went through what I went through and I was able to recover, I can now give hope and inspire other people to walk the same path. And it has been amazing.
So you didn't really found this product, you found the product and are now just singing its everything it did for you.
Yeah, exactly. I just share my story and I educate people. I believe, we don't know what we don't know. And I was sitting there for a long time. I had gotten this right after my accident. I wouldn't have had to go through a lot of what I went through. And I just think, well, if we can all be educated, that is, knowledge is power. And I don't care what people do with it. I just know everybody that's hearing this right now, you're hearing it for a reason. I don't know if it's for yourself. I don't know if it's for a loved one. I don't know if it's someone you meet tomorrow. But I know that your level of awareness is up. And there's a reason it's coming into your awareness right now.
Absolutely. Hey, real quick, folks, check out the link. Right there is the link where you can go. Yes, that's my link to there, but you don't have to get into subscriptions or anything like that, but at least go check this product out. I think down the road you absolutely will, because you're going to be like Danielle and Jay and anybody that I've talked to outside of this. They were just amazed by how quickly this is. So also some more things for you. We do have a pendulum class tomorrow night on the ascendedmasters.store. That link is down below as well. We'll be live. First 5 people, you get to come in, and I'm going to send you the link to be live on camera with me so we can work. Instead of typing your questions, I can actually see what you're doing. So make sure you're checking that out. Also, I need to let everybody know, hit the like and subscribe button. Check it out. That's how you help me out. Everybody's always asking how you can help me out. This is it. Go check out the ASEA. That's how you can help me out too and help yourself. Also, I want to make everybody aware. Go check out the tarotwithanattitude.com page. I have just ripped everything apart. Prices have just gone, they're well under 50% off. So check some things out for sessions. You can get a session with me now for as little as $15. okay, and an hour for 40. So it's crazy. I'm redoing things. We're going to look at this. We're going to go on, and I'm going to get back on the air more. So some of that's the business stuff we got to get taken care of or whatnot. So I'm looking. Is there any more questions for Danielle? How about Jay? Anybody want to ask Jay what he experienced with this? Jay, I'm going to ask you a question.
Yeah, don't wait.
Let's get this right out of the way.
Go ahead, brother.
What about the taste?
Tastes like shit.
Okay.
It's fine. They've tasted worse. You know what I mean? They're gonna you've tasted. You've had a Jaeger shot. You've had whiskey. You're fine. It's okay. You'll be fine. You don't even think like that. After about a day or two, you just get the sensation. I've already framed you for it. You already know it. You get it. The second day, you'll be fine. Don't even worry about it. You know, it's how you feel is going to be the biggest difference. Hey, you know what? The other thing too is that all that stuff, because there's so much, and you know how it is, man. There's like so much like news and stuff and from every side, and it just really screws with people's head, and they just get in these funks and whatever. Your brain gets in a place where it just doesn't react to that. You don't get caught up into that. You don't even want to think like that. You feel like really good, like whatever, you know, like so much stuff becomes like it's like a duck, like all this stuff seems to roll off your back. You're just in a very high vibe state. And for all of you high vibe people out there, you know, when you're in a high vibe state, that's when you attract really good stuff in your life. When you're not, that's when you do not attract really good stuff in your life, right? So, man, I tell you, it's just really gonna. I tell you, there's just, oh man, just to get the people. If everybody was on this in the world, then we would just have a very different news system. You know what I mean? For real, because it's so hard to think in a negative way. It's difficult. You have to work it. You have to work at it to get angry, to get frustrated, or react to stuff. You don't. You just feel really good. Again, the best way for me to describe it, man, is just totally being connected with the concept of God, if you would, at a much deeper level. It really is. It's whatever.
So it helps you connect better. And you know what, Jay, you made a point there, and it's true. We're all trying to reach a higher vibrational. We preach it. You preach it on Spiritually Raw, things like that. Your guests preach it. How important it is to be up there. I talk to people about don't expect to be in a high vibrational frequency if you keep putting crap in. The whole bangarang principle. Remember, what you put in is also what comes out a lot of times. So when you're frustrated, scared, things like that or whatnot. But pain does that to us as well. Headaches, stress headaches. Man, I'm looking for this with I have shoulder issues that just were, you know, and you know, I was telling people my shoulders were, HempWorks helped my shoulders, but I had to take such a high dose. People were afraid of it. I was afraid of it for, you know, the P factor and all that stuff. And it didn't become practical. And then it had some side effects that I just didn't like. This will have none. It should not, because the science already exists within me. So go ahead, Jay.
I'm just going to say, like, when you mentioned about, you know, just the discomfort that you got there, I just ran like almost 4 miles before I had the show with you, and there's just none. And I'm just even more energized. Like, I'm not running and feeling like I was before, which is, okay, I'm kind of tired now. Let me maintain this for the rest of the day. Man, I'm, like I said, on fire in a really good way. And I just got that run. And this is not only within an hour ago. So it's that level. I know Danielle alluded to the fact that athletes use this. I noticed, like, running, working out, doing whatever. I'm faster and strong. There's no doubt about it, man. It's wild. It's like I'm running today. I'm like, man, this is wild. It's like,
do you see the effects of your run as far as the negative aspects when you would do it? Because I've always admired you in that, getting up, doing your yoga, doing your run, things like that. You're faithful to it or whatnot. But I noticed that we've known each other 20 something years now. Okay. That more and more after your runs, when we've talked, you're like, oh, the soreness, that AIDS thing kicking in. Are you noticing with the ASEA that you're going, a lot of those negative effects are falling away, or are they? Because some of us, it's like challenging after I've been in this chair to stand up.
There's none.
You know,
there's none. I don't know how to describe it other than, you know, I said it last night. Is like I feel like light as a feather, but strong like an ox at the same time. There's none. Nothing. You know what I mean? There's just nothing. There's just nothing there. If I look for discomfort, I mean, I am right now at this minute, I am consciously trying to look through my body and scan for discomfort, and I just can't find it.
Okay.
And I just can't find it. And that's it. I'm going to stop looking, but I'm just doing it.
Yeah, be careful. You look, you'll find
right, exactly.
it. You know,
I'm just saying, but I just, there's nothing there. And that's a really, really short period of time, to be able to say that, you know what I mean? To be able to have that experience. I know a couple people say they're going to run and try it. God bless you. And again, I really pray you have the experience that Danielle had, that I'm having, that many people we're talking are having. It's a game changer. It's a game changer. It really is.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
You know, April's in, she's listening in. It's your doctor in a bottle. And you know what? That's anytime we can jumpstart or restart our own natural system, that's what I'm looking for. Now I'm going to ask you a question. Have you heard anybody like with sugar issues, diabetes, or some of those issues? So let's cross this out of high blood pressure. So we don't have to worry about it interacting with our high blood pressure medicine. I don't have to get the doctor's permission to take care of it. All right. So let's look at those two, high blood pressure and diabetes. Have you got any results on that?
Yeah, so I've been privileged enough to interview one of the researchers that helped to stabilize the redox molecules. And I got to ask him so many questions. And one of them was, look, I'm asked all the time about specific issues. What can I say? Because first of all, you're never going to see a study that ASEA has done on diabetes or on high blood pressure. The reason being that that's just one key on the piano. And if they go that route, that is millions of dollars for one approval. Well, we know that this touches every key on the piano. And the way it was described to me by this researcher, he said, well, Danielle, think about that disease or illness. Think about diabetes. Is there a cell involved? And when you step back and you go, okay, I am just trillions of cells, and maybe the cell in my pancreas isn't doing what it's supposed to be doing. And so all of a sudden I trickle up, I have an issue that we name. All right. Well, ASEA isn't meant to go in and fix diabetes, right? That's not what it's meant to do. But what it does is it goes into the body and it says, where's their damage? Well, there's damage in the pancreas. Okay, let's go repair that. Well, now if I have a repaired pancreas, what's going to trickle up from there? And you can start to see how when you remedy the foundation, all of a sudden, maybe we don't need the medication we were taking to mask the symptom, right? I was on very high level medications for the migraines I had. And I eventually was able to completely get off of them because the foundation of what was causing those symptoms that I was needing that medication for resolved itself. It was able to repair. And so there's some great testimonial sites, Rob. And I always tell people, look, because this does something different in everybody, go seek out and find people that have the same type of damage that you do. I've talked to people all over the world that have had head traumas because they want to know, okay, how much did you take? How long did it last? What else did you have going on? What else were you doing? And you can really dive into that. There's a great group on Facebook where you can do that. You have to be invited into it, of course. And some great websites where you can just read testimonials. And I think that it's really profound when you start to understand, all right, it's just going to go where the cell has damage. So whatever the issue, there isn't a health challenge I haven't seen it touch yet. It just goes repairs, where it can, and it kind of works through in your body. Like maybe your number one thing is your shoulder. I don't know. But when you take it, it says, no, we need to go into the liver. And so it goes there first. And so I always tell people, fill out a health benchmark form because we never quite know where it's going to start working first. Your body has its own priority. And so then after a week, we can say, well, what's shifted? How is my score now? How is my score after a month, 2 months, 3 months? I see the most results after 90 days. Yes, it starts in the first week, but think about the layers you're getting into as you stay on this. And someone was asking about with frostbite, and you're right on track. So the gel, anything that you have that you can like localize, put the topical where you want to increase communication, like and direct it there. When you drink the drink, like I was just saying, it goes where it's going to go. But when you have the topical, you can tell it where to go.
Oh, that's awesome. And what you said about people they just know the pharma companies and everything else, and they really don't understand why they do some of the things they do. And, I'll give you a good example of that, folks, is Viagra, and people don't understand Viagra was being researched for blood pressure because that's where they got their grant from. But they found out it had this marvelous side effect. Okay. And actually the side effect overwent, and that's how Viagra came on the market, is they were trying to treat blood pressure. This side effect comes along, somebody's wife got happy, and they rebuild it. Okay. So yeah, we really need to pay attention to what's going on and understand in our own society. I always bitch that people don't even understand their own government. They don't understand their own law system in this country. They don't understand the Electoral College. And we truly just want to blame Big Pharma for everything, but they get a lot of money from the government. And man, try getting a government grant. I've had to help write a couple of those for UCF. And let me tell you something. It ain't easy. It is not easy. So that's what's going on there or whatnot. Any other questions? So we got the frostbite question. Love you too, April. Always love you. Okay. Awesome is right. But if anything, it's hope. Try it. What have you got to lose at this point? I would rather lose some of my cash and try something to help me. Okay. Than to just sit there and go, oh, I'm skeptic again. Like my wife on Saturday morning, she will tell 2 or 3 people 2 or 3 times. Being afraid to make a decision becomes a decision in and unto itself to do nothing.
Yeah.
Okay. And fear will keep us. Try it. What do you got to lose? This isn't something that's going to make you grow a tail, grow a penis out of your forehead or anything like that. This is stuff that's already in your body, so I think that's amazing. Yeah. So everybody remember,
like the cash thing, there's a money back guarantee. So I always tell people,
oh, is there?
It's risk-free. Yeah, there's a 30-day money back.
Wow. Money back guarantee, folks. There you go. I didn't even know that. Okay. Yeah. So there you go. I mean, so they take it risk-free. And so you're talking about then that you don't have to you can just go on the site right there, Tarot with an Attitude, my ASEA Live. Go there, pick a product you want to try it. You don't have to do the subscription, but get enough. I think what we're saying here is make sure you get enough.
Yeah.
Especially if you're going to try the Redox liquid that we're talking about for the entire body. Make sure you get enough to take you through a month at a whack and give it 90 days.
Hey, Rob, can I just say, because I just for their own benefit to save money too, what they can do is they can get if they want to try it, get on what's called a preferred member, because they'll earn like all cool stuff with it. They'll actually set it up as a subscription, but just as easy as they set it up, they can pull it down. So it's a better way for them because they'll save money. And you listen, if it doesn't work out for them, which is whatever, if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. Then they just cancel the subscription. Other than that, they're going to end up paying retail, which whatever, right? They don't want to do that. So they're much better off. They'll get their cake and eat it too this way is what I'm saying.
Okay. So
they're better off if they go preferred. Just go ahead and set it up as a subscription, even though if your intent is not to keep it or you don't end up keeping it, just stop the subscriptions. Just takes I think 8 seconds. You know what I mean? It's one of those things. They'll save money. They'll just get the benefit. And most importantly, I'm telling you, this happens more than not. They're not going to want to be without it. Even like a day or so. Seriously. But give it a go. Like I said, like Danielle said, it's there's the money thing. They'll give it back to you.
Yeah. Okay. And we'll go into more of that as more people come on board. If they want to, we'll have a special show and you can tell people how to get product for free, what they can do, because Jay, now you're getting with something you're doing, you're actually able to get a lot of your own stuff for free.
Yeah, and then if you want to do that, like the best thing, like I said, it was 3 months before I spoke to you, and I'm not saying that's just because of my own timing and things like that. I think that people will start to try it, and just like anything in life, you're going to run and you're going to sing the praises of whatever works. It's just what we do as human beings, right? I mean, you just do it. I didn't come into it with the intent of saying, hey, this is what we do. It's just like, oh man, you just got to try this. You got to feel good. And it's just there. It's like, I feel like I found a holy grail. And that's like, whether it's integrating with current supplements or whatever, But you're going to get that vibe, you're going to get that feeling pretty fast, and then you're just going to want to share it with people. It's just what we do, because what's going to happen. You could, again, you're going to be in a state of your state of mind is going to be different. It's going to be like high vibes, and you just are you're so tapped into love, that love consciousness, that you don't have a choice but to share it with people. Do you see what I mean? You come from that place. And that being said, what happens then inadvertently, the benefit of that is, boom, you can a lot of times get your products for free depending on how you're structured. And we just Danielle helps with that part.
That's awesome. And you brought up something good, and this is something I talk to people about all the time, regardless of if you go into something looking for it not to work, you have set your intentions, and that works on everything, folks. Us setting a bangarang, what you want, instead of going, oh crap, here we go, another something to try. Hey, here's something else to try. This is going to be the thing. And then down the road, if you make the decision, well, it wasn't what I thought it was, okay, cancel it. Because I am seeing through going through the links and stuff, canceling it is so easy. It's like a click of a button in the website, things like that. They don't make it hard, okay? But try it and keep your intentions and things open, no matter what you're doing today. And I think this might be a good spot for us to bring this puppy to a close. Danielle, is there anything else you want people to know? Or probably a ton. I know you have videos on YouTube. They can look you up, Danielle Matthews.
Mm-hmm.
I found them under ASEA. Okay, I'm going to say it right, ASEA. Anything else you want to pass on?
No, I would just say, do your due diligence if you feel you need to. But the proof's in the pudding. And I am so excited to see what this brings you. If it resonated, like I said, there's a reason you're here, you're listening, and it's coming into your awareness now. And be patient with it as well. You might not be feeling cellular repair happen. It might be working on something that you weren't even aware of.
I don't know if I want to feel it happen. That's pretty in depth. Here, Rob, hold this. We'll have a milkshake. So yeah.
But I thank you, Rob, for your trust in Jay to listen. It's interesting how this finds its way to people as they need it, when they need it. And I think timing's everything. So,
well, and I need people to know, I was like you on this time, I'm like, enough is enough. And then my wife and I, we actually had the intention conversation about, you know what? If we keep shutting any possibilities down because we don't want to take the effort, then that's shame on us, because you never know what's going to work, And so I did some research and went at this with a whole new tribe. Bangarang, there we go. My Bangarang tribe, because this is what we're looking for. This is something that can help us. This is something that can move us along and see what's going on. This was awesome. Thank you so much. I'm glad you liked it, Roxanne. One of the things I tell people, thank you. I'm glad I was able to catch the show today. My daily affirmations are mainly healing so I can help others. That's what's important. Okay. But, most of all, I tell people all the time, take what you want. Leave what you don't. It's okay. But leave with some peace, love, and light. And one of the things I want people, one of the things I'm going to come back here, pendulum class tomorrow night, 8 p.m., link down below, the ASEA link right there, and it's in the description. Check it out. We're going to see that, and there are going to be some other shows. I have News Dudes and Tudes that's catching on. Becky Gregory we're going to be talking about life regressions and life after, or past life experiences, things like that. All that's coming up, a lot to look. So make sure you're subscribing and you're hitting here and you know what's going on. So again, with all that being said, Jay, thank you. Take what you want, leave what you don't, but leave with some peace, love, and light. Bangarang.